Magic the Gathering Arena. It's been out for a year and a half, 2 years now, but recently a new set has come out and that's renewed my interest in it. So let's take a look at it and see how it plays. I'm Chris Steele, and this is Tabletop Game Talk, a show where we talk about tabletop games and gaming topics of all kinds, including apps, including Magic the Gathering, including Magic the Gathering Arena. So if you're unfamiliar with Magic the Gathering, this is a collectible trading card game. I'm assuming you've heard of it, otherwise you probably wouldn't be watching this video, but if it's possible you've never played it. And if you've never played it, then Magic the Gathering Arena is a great way to start playing it. And you can play it for free. And that's very important, right? Magic the Gathering, one of the biggest problems with it is it's a collectible trading card game and it can get very expensive. However, it does, a lot of people make a lot of money on it by buying and reselling cards. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for Arena. And Arena, there is no buying there is buying, but there's no selling of cards. There's no resale of cards. So let's take a look at Magic the Gathering Arena. And the way I'm going to start this is I'm just going to jump right in and play a game. And that will give you a feel for how the game plays. So this is the opening screen. We'll cover everything in a sec, but ultimately, you're just going to click that play button down here. Now, there are matches that you can play against a bot, which is obviously not a real player, and typically you don't get any credit for unlocking things if you're playing against the bot. I'm going to play against the bot because I'm probably going to bail out of the game early, and this just makes it so I can talk about the game. So I have a deck called High Healing. I really like this deck. It's a pure white deck, even though it shows blue, black, and red as well. I believe one of the cards in there has a multicolor aspect to it. So we just hit play, and this is going to connect me to an online AI opponent. The feel of this game, and I think you're always playing Sparky when you're playing AI, but the feel of this game is very, very nice. So you're going to see these are Magic cards. If you've never played Magic before, you have 5 different colors of mana. The cost of the cards are in the upper right corner. If it's a color, you need a specific color of that. If it's a number, you need any color. On the left here, we see planes. These are cards that generate white mana. On the right, we see a card that has 1 white mana and 2 that are generic mana. So I take a look at this. I almost never mulligan because, again, these games play so fast it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to keep all 7 of them, and then we start to play. In order to play a card, all you're going to do on the tablet, on the phone is a little different, but it's very, very similar. On the tablet, though, I just click and hold my finger, drag it out to the surface, and play it. We see that the cards I can play are highlighted. Both of these cards would allow me to increase a creature power by 1, but just for the turn, but I also get to draw a card. In this case, I'm actually going to do that because I think drawing a card is great. So I'm going to target my player. Am I sure? Yes. It's not typically something you would do, but it's going to go away as soon as my turn's over, but I got to draw this extra card, which is an important card for this deck. We wait for my opponent to play. I'm going to play another land. This one here will give me life when I play it, and it generates non-colored mana, which is fine for what we're doing here, but I'm just going to play this, and then I'm going to play this enchantment that's going to sit off to the end. So whenever I gain life, I'm going to gain a 2/2 flying creature, which is great. Again, I'm not really paying attention to what my opponent's doing right now because I'm talking to you, and this deck doesn't actually care what my opponent does in the beginning. It just matters what I do later on. So I'm going to throw this out here, and this here allows me to make creatures more powerful whenever I gain life. This is a flying creature. Actually, this is nice. So I'm just going to throw this out here. Whenever I would gain life, my opponent's going to gain the same amount of life. Now, this can be bad for a deck that specifically wants us to gain life, but I have this card here, which allows my creatures to get stronger whenever they gain life as well. So I'm going to throw that out there, and I think that will be good, and we're just going to attack. So I hit the all attack button. Now I can click on these to make them non-attack or attack. When I click the attack button, this is Magic, so there's tons and tons of different steps of things I can do and react. So now I've declared attackers. Now I can play a spell on my attackers. Now they're going to declare blockers, but I'm flying, so they can't play blockers. So now I can play spells on my blockers. And I can just keep hitting next, or I can hit this little fast forward arrow too if I'm not worried about playing more. Now, I'm not going to play those right now because I'm going to save them for a little bit later. My opponent is also throwing out a flying creature. That's fine. We don't care much. I care a little bit on this one. I'm just going to click the fast forward arrow here and throw this out here. Now, I'm going to throw out another Promise of Power on this same creature. And then I am going to play... Oh, nope, I already played the land. So I don't actually have anything I can do here. So let's just boost my creature temporarily. Ooh, that's a good card. We'll save it for later. I'm going to take... I don't want to do any attack here because if I attack, they're going to block and kill my creature, and I don't want that. So I'm going to say no attacks, end my turn. A lot of this game is very clear to you. Like when you're playing, you can't play wrong. Most apps are like that. You can't play wrong. But it's going to let you know every step of the way what you can and can't do. And again, this is against the AI, so I can pause for as long as I want. If I was playing against an actual opponent, there is a timer. And each time I take my turn in less than a certain amount of time, I will be able to... it accumulates little, basically timer spawn tokens that I can spend later. So if it takes too long and I run out of time on a turn, it will use one of those tokens to give me an extra 10 seconds or something like that. If you run out of tokens and you haven't played, you just lose, which is great because it keeps games moving. People can't stall out. And I think all online games should really do this because it's very nice. I'm not going to block. I'm going to take a little bit of damage. That's okay because now I'm about to destroy the world. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw out this land here, which gives me 2 life, which gives my angel +2 twice. So I get +4. Then I'm going to gain another 3 life. So I'm going to get another plus crazy amounts here. Then I'm going to lock up their creature, which is going to give me 4 more life, which is going to be a ton of damage here. And then I'm just going to attack and win. That's how this deck works. It's Magic, right? So there's a lot of options you can do. There's a lot of decks that you can build that are kind of degenerate. This is one of my favorite decks. It tends to win me a lot just playing casually. If I'm just playing against other players, it plays pretty quickly, and it's really just all about gaining life and making these big beefy characters. So what is this app about? Well, when you first start, and I've been playing this for quite some time, so I don't have the beginnings here. But when you first start, you have the option of going through the tutorial. In fact, you don't have the option not to go through the tutorial. And it's a little hokey at time. You have Spark, the AI player I just played, is walking you through, and you're playing different colored decks. So you'll play all 5 colors of just those 1 colors. It'll teach you the basics as you're going through, and each time you go through a tutorial, it's going to unlock that deck and all the cards that go along with it. So this doesn't cost anything. You're just going to get all these decks unlocked. Then you're going to have, I think, almost 2 weeks of different things you can unlock. Now you can come back every day and, so you can unlock them as quickly. The fastest you can do it is in 2 weeks, but you can do it as much time as you want. It doesn't really matter. They'll always be available to you. Once all your goals are done, you're going to have a ton of different decks. So if I click in here and I scroll down, most of these decks, all of the mono decks, or the single color decks, and all of these pairs of colors, all of these were decks that were free. And so you have all those cards that you can play with, and you don't have to do anything else. You can just play those. So if you just are curious about Magic, this is a great way to play and get familiar with how the game plays and see if you like it. See if it's fun. See if it's something that you would like to play. Doesn't cost you a dime. Now, if you do like the game, this is, well, Magic has this reputation for being pay to win. The more money you have, the better decks you have. It's not entirely true. Yes, you will have to pay a certain amount of money to have like a winning, like a tournament tier one deck, but there's a cap on that. It's not like if I spend $300 on a deck and you spend $3,000 on a deck, it doesn't mean your deck is going to beat my deck every time. There's depending on the different formats that you're in. But your traditional format, you're maxing out at a couple $100 or so for a physical deck. This is different. You're not going to be able to buy cards from other people, so the resale is essentially non-existent. What you do have, though, is packs that you can buy. You can also earn these packs. So as you play, you will unlock packs. And if we take a look at the Mastery tab here, we can see that when I get up to my level 7, I'm going to unlock a Magic card. In this case, I believe, what is this? We can just click on it. A Mythic card reward. So this will give me any Mythic card I want. But in different cases, like you'll unlock different packs as you're going through. And some of this, like the top tier is for free. The bottom tier is if you've paid for the Mastery Pass. I did pay for the Mastery Pass on this particular one because, again, this was the Dungeons & Dragons, the first Dungeons & Dragons Magic the Gathering set, which is what got me back into playing this game. So once I get up to the next level, I'll unlock something. The store also has each week or each day, you'll have some kind of special deal. Sometimes this deal is simply spend gold to get gems. Gold is the in-game currency that you earn. Gems are for cash currency. So if you check in every day, sometimes it's just going to give you gems for free. You're never going to gain as many gems as you want. But and these are all cosmetic. These aren't even cards. So you can't buy these as specific cards. So that's fine, but let's take a look at packs. And I'm going to actually buy a couple packs just so you can see how these work, because it's different than the physical game. In the physical game, I think you get 15 cards, and there's a bunch of commons, a couple uncommons, a rare, mythic, whatever the case is. These are a little different. Now, I can buy one pack for 1,000 gold. Again, this is the in-game currency. So I'm just going to click this and buy one and claim it. And we're going to buy 3 of these packs, just so you can kind of see how this works. Now, when I was over here and I was buying packs, if I click on packs here, I can actually buy packs from any of the sets that are in Magic the Gathering. So I'm just buying a pack from the most recent set here, but if I wanted to buy packs from any of them, I could. There's not really, there's some reasons for doing it, but ultimately your cheapest pack set is going to be buying 90 packs for 1,800 gems. The gems are about, let's take a look at the gem bundles. Gems are, you get 3,400 for $20. So they're, again, math is funky, and the way they do this, you're always going to have extra gems. So they're not super cheap, but they equate to about $1, maybe $1.50 a pack when you buy them in quantity. So if I want to buy 90 packs, I can do that. And there's a bulk open, so I don't have to stare at all these. But the way this typically works is I click on a pack, the pack opens up, and I get 5 commons. And this is a great example. So I get 5 commons on the bottom. I get 2 uncommons on either side. And then the rare slot, which could be a mythic or whatever, is in the middle. And I get a little bit of fanfare for revealing that. But what we saw here, or what we see here, is this gray card here on the bottom is it's a wild card. It basically can be any common card. Once I convert it into that common card, then I can't convert it back, but it allows me to kind of fill out what I need for a deck I might be building. And the blue-grayish one is an uncommon wild card. In fact, I have a bunch of those. But as you open up packs, even if you don't get these randomly, you see these 2 meters in the upper right. These are automatically unlocking uncommon wilds and rare and mythic wilds. So the more packs you open, that you're guaranteed to get these wilds just as an extra on top of that. So let's see what the rare card is. I look at this, and it's a frogmoth giant trample cool thing. If I want to get a closer look, I can just click on this and click and hold. I see the zoom up of the card, and I can see all the abilities and what they are. So if I don't know what an ability does, I can just click and hold on a card, and it gives me all the information, which is great. Well, actually, once I clicked and hold, I can let my fingers off, and just tap again to go back. So I'm going to tap, and now I get to open the next card. This is fun. I'm only doing 3 packs. This one did not have any wilds inside the pack. Maybe the rare could still be a wild. But it did say, hey, there's 2 cards that you've never seen before. They're not in your collection. And that's what those little first banners are for. So this is a common card. It's one of the new kinds of cards in the D&D set, which allows me to venture into the dungeon. And then it also shows me all of the different dungeons. There's 3 different dungeons that I can venture into. These are token cards in real life. Here, I just have access to them whenever I want them, and I can pick the dungeon I want. And the way this works is you pick the first level, you pick one of the seconds, and depending on how you branch, these different abilities will trigger. So that's pretty cool. And this one's just a goblin. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, this one is a land. Dungeon Descent, enter the battlefield tapped. So tap an untapped legendary creature you control, venture into the dungeon, activate only as a sorcery. This basically allows me to venture every single turn if I have a legendary creature on the board. That's pretty cool. And let's take a look at my last pack. All right, no wilds, but we saw just now I had filled up all of the uncommon circles, so I just got a free uncommon wild that went up, and now I can use it whenever I want when I'm building decks. We got a new card, and what's this one? This one is a dog. You gotta have dogs, right? So here you go, Loyal Warhound. That's simple, easy enough. So that's how you unlock packs. And again, I did not spend any money on doing that. I just played and earned gold to do that. How do you earn gold? Glad you asked. These here on the bottom are different goals you can make, and you can have up to 3 of them at any given point. Each day a new one pops up, and if you miss a day, that's fine. It just gets pushed over. You can deal with it the next day. The one here with this says 250, this is an everyday quest that's just counting wins. So their first 15 wins, you're going to get experience and gold for those wins. After 15, you're not going to get any more for this particular reward. But this here is experience. Actually, this is gold and some experience, and this is mostly just experience. So winning every day is a way of getting things. And the thing is, you can play so many games that it's actually not hard to win. That's why I have my white deck. I can just play these out. Now, the cool thing about the goals here is this goal says I'm going to cast 20 white or blue spells. And once I've cast 20 of those spells, you don't have to win or lose. You just play the game, and you're going to be able to unlock this goal. Then you're good. You can also click to swap this out and get a new goal if you want. I think there's a limited number of those that you can do, but you can do that if you want to. And this one says cast 20 white or red spells. Well, there's an overlap there. They both want white spells. So if I play a deck that has white spells, I'm actually getting credit for both at the same time. So there's some... Yes, you can log in every day and satisfy your goals, and you get your win bonuses and stuff as you're doing that. Or you can log in every 3 days. And a lot of times there'll be overlaps where you can just complete these things. Experience is going to give you level up and get you basically new packs and new gold and whatever. And then the gold is going to give you gold that you can buy packs with. So again, you can play this game completely for free. Totally fine. I did find that I think I spent $20 as a welcome bonus pack. I think I spent the $20 because you get a whole lot of stuff right out of the gate for it. That's probably the best value. Beyond that, I wouldn't put any money into it unless you really want to. So what else can you do? Online stuff. Well, you can see up here on the right, we have different drafts we can do. So here, this is a sealed Forgotten Realms draft that I'm in the middle of. The drafts, the way they work is you're going to get, well, this one is a not a draft, but a sealed. You get 6 booster packs. You open them all up. Those are your cards. You get to keep forever. And then you just keep playing the game until you either get 7 wins or 3 losses. I'm not very good at this. I'm already 2 losses, but I have 2 wins. So that's good. And so depending on how far you get in the, how many wins you get before you lose, you're going to get different things. And if you get all the way to the end and do 7 wins, you will get back what would cost you to get in here. So in this case, it costs, I think, 2,000 gems to start it. I'll get 2,200 gems back. So if you're really good, again, you can just keep playing and getting gems. And gems are the currency. They're the cash currency. So these are a good way of, like, if you're good at Magic, you may never have to spend money in this game. I can also, this one here is an actual draft where we opened up packs, pick one, pass, pick one, pass, pick one, pass. That part is real time, and you have to draft all of your cards at that time. But from that point on, you just play when you have the availability to play. You're not stuck there and have to keep playing. So I actually started both of these a few days ago, and I can come back and I can play a game here and there, and I'm going to get matched with people that are doing the same thing. They may have just drafted their deck, or they may be 5 wins in, or wherever they're at, but I'll be able to play on my terms and my time. I love that about this. And then finally here, these are, again, this is just allows me to start a draft. This one I can spend 750 gems, which is my cash, or I can spend 5,000 gold, which gets me in. So you don't have to spend gems to get into any of these drafts. You can spend gold as well. It just takes a little bit longer. But if you notice, that 5,000 gold is going to convert to at least 50 gems, which is not a great exchange rate, but it could convert to 950 gems. So there's, you can really, again, you don't have to pay for any of this. If you're like me and have, my time is more important than spending $50 to get a whole bunch of cards. Also, spending $50 on virtual cards, let's just not talk about that. But you don't have to do that. All right. Also, I'm not very good, so if I want the cards, I usually pay for it. So if I want to build a deck, I can go over here to decks. I start a deck, I hit play or I hit build, and this is giving me all of my cards. This has all your filters, so if I'm only interested in white, I can do that. I can do advanced searches, so I just want, let's see, life link. I can search that, and now I just see all the cards with lifelink. I can pick a format, and there's tons of different formats that I can pick. I'm just going to pick a standard. And then as I drag cards over here, or actually I just tap on the cards, it'll actually auto-complete with land. So if I only have this, if I only have white, it's going to say, we recommend you have 24 lands. I can pull them out, but it says, already all good. And then if I pick, so say I pick, 4 of any particular one. So actually, let's do this. Let's say I do this. Now we can see I have 2 red cards. So if I say done, or if I say craft all, let me make sure this is common. It is. It's going to ask me, hey, do you want to spend 2 of your wild cards to finish this deck up? And that's all you have to do. So you can actually build, concept decks any way you want, and then just use your craft cards, your wild cards to craft them. And I believe, actually, I have no idea where my wild cards are. Cancel. Yeah, there's someplace. Discard changes because I don't really care about that deck. And there we go. So actually, if we go to decks, I might actually be able to go to, actually, let me go to profile here. And we have pets and we have emotes. There's no communication. I can't type and talk to my friends, so you actually use different emotes. And these are just text that when you click on your character, you can say these various things, and you can unlock other emotes as you want to as well. So that's all of that. But yeah, so that's Magic the Gathering Arena. I really, really like this. I started playing this on the PC, or on my Mac. It's available on Mac, PC, tablet, phone, iOS, Android. It's basically available everywhere, and it's the same account across all of them. Let me switch over to phone, and I will talk a little bit more about that as we go through. So now you can only be logged into one device at a time. So as I log into the phone, it is disconnecting me from the iPad. And we'll bring this down a little bit. But you can see this is exactly the same thing that I was just playing. In every way, it's all good. And if I want to play, I come over here. I can do this. I can still pick a bot match, click on play, and I'm just going to go through a couple turns just so you can see how easy the interface is here. It's actually quite easy to play this game on your phone. I prefer it on the tablet because I like to see a little bit more, but you can see this is all pretty clear to see. I'm just going to keep all 7 again because that's what I do. I'm going to throw out. So here, I have to be a little bit easier. I can't just toss like I can on the iPad. I have to first tap on the cards to expand them, and then I can pull the cards out. So I'm going to, actually, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm just going to pass. And now I'm going to enhance his creature at the end of his turn so that I can draw an extra card. Because why not? All right. So now I'm going to toss out a land, toss out that there, and I love this deck so much. It's so much fun to play that I might not. I'm not going to play any more turns. I'm just going to play this one thing here, which allows me to gain 3 life. And then I'm going to throw out another land and see, oh, now I have my flying 2/2. And honestly, I would win this game. But I just want to show you emotes real quick. So if I tap on the character at the bottom, which, oh wait, I have to tap over here. There we go. I can say, nice, or hello, and whatever I want to say. And this is the AI, so sometimes it talks back to you as well. If I want to resign, I click the gear in the upper right corner, and I just click concede, and my opponent wins. Magic has a kind of a standard with like, hey, if I know I'm going to lose, I'm gonna tap out and concede. In Arena, though, I tend to let them play it out because a lot of times people are trying to play cards and unlock those achievements. So if they're playing quickly, I'll let them play out and do the attacks. Sometimes it's attacking with creatures, sometimes it's killing, sometimes it's playing colored cards, whatever it happens to be. I tend to try to let them play that out. So that's Magic the Gathering Arena. I highly recommend it. I will say that a couple things that I look for in an app are, can I learn the game from it? And I will say absolutely 100% you can learn Magic the Gathering from this. Does it make the game easier to play? Yes, 100%. I can play it whenever I want. I'm not tied to a timetable. There are certain event time windows, but it's usually either like, Friday Night Magic, which runs all day Friday. You have weekend events. You have midweek events. You have month-long events. So there's tons of timelines where as long as you're in that timeline, you can play. Does it have like features that make me want to keep coming back? Honestly, the gold and the experience and the unlocking of the cards, all of those things make me want to keep coming back. Do I spend a lot of money on this? Because this is one that you can spend a lot of money on. And is the money worth it? The app itself is 100% worth it. It's free. It's worth it. You don't have to do anything. Download it, play it. Costs you nothing. Spending money in the app, maybe. It depends on how much enjoyment and how much you play out of this. Now, there are actual tournaments, and Magic's pro tournaments and cash prizes and stuff are being handled in Magic Arena right now. So if you're really good at this, you can actually earn real money. But what you can't do is buy cards and then turn around and sell them, which is a lot of, in real life, I can buy a couple booster boxes, sell the cards that I'm not interested in, and that'll pay for the rest of the cards in the box. And you can't do that in Magic Arena. So if you're looking for that, keep that in mind. The money you spend here is going to be lost. It's still a lot less money than you'd probably spend in real life. And the game is a lot more flexible in playtime. So yeah, I give this one a big recommendation. Thumbs up across the board. They've done a great job with this. If you've never played Magic, try it out. Don't pay for anything. And just play through and get an idea of what all the hubbub is for the original collectible card game that's now been around for almost 30 years. So I'm Chris Steele. This has been Tabletop Game Talk, an app review, which I do every week. So if this was interesting to you, you can like, subscribe, and each week you get a new review. Until next time, keep playing games and having fun.